Welcome to ETH Daily, a daily briefing on the latest in Ethereum. Arbitrum faces scrutiny over its first DAO proposal. The Arbitrum Foundation sells 10 million ARB tokens. ZK-Sync Era faces a 4-hour outage, and Vitalik discusses the creation of a multi-client ZK-EVM ecosystem. All this and more from ETH Daily starts right after this message from today's sponsor. Looking for ways to track your staking rewards and monitor validator performance? Try out Ether Capital's Staking Dashboard, a one-stop shop for direct insight into your staking operations. This analytics tool exports financial data, making it easier to file taxes. Register today to try out the free beta version of Ether Capital's Staking Dashboard at beta.ethcap.co. Arbitrum is facing scrutiny after transferring 750 million ARB tokens from what was initially allocated to the Arbitrum DAO treasury, without approval from governance. The Arbitrum Foundation also sold 10 million ARB tokens and loaned 40 million ARB tokens to Wintermute. The 750 million token transfer is part of Arbitrum Improvement Proposal 1. Arbitrum Improvement Proposal 1, or AIP-1, is still in a voting phase and currently holds 82% disapproval from voters. The issue lies with Arbitrum executing actions from the AIP without first receiving approval from governance. Arbitrum employee Patrick McCrory later stated that the point of AIP-1 was to inform the community of all the decisions that were already made in advance. AIP-1 is a Genesis proposal that outlines the structure of the Arbitrum DAO and the Arbitrum Foundation. The proposal also outlines members of the Security Council, the Arbitrum Nova Data Availability Committee, and the directors of the Arbitrum Foundation. AIP-1 allocates 7.5% of the total ARB token supply to the Arbitrum Foundation. The AIP also includes a special grants program that allows the Arbitrum Foundation to issue grants without approval from governance. Blockworks Research cited concerns over the security of the 750 million ARB tokens being controlled by potentially only 3 individuals. Voting for the proposal ends today after being live for the past week. Arbitrum refers to AIP-1 as a ratification of something already decided. In a subsequent statement, Arbitrum explained that the initial 10 million ARB tokens were sold to pay for pre-existing contracts and near-term operating costs. Arbitrum also stated that the Arbitrum Foundation has no near-term plans to sell more tokens. As AIP-1 is likely to fail, Arbitrum stated it plans to break AIP-1 down into separate proposals that would be voted on individually. The 750 million ARB tokens sent to the Arbitrum Foundation will be voted on in its own AIP and will now include a vesting schedule. Arbitrum will also provide additional context to its special grants program. ZK-Sync Era and EVM-compatible ZK rollup by Matter Labs experienced downtime on its mainnet alpha for roughly 4 hours over the weekend. In a post-mortem, ZK-Sync stated that a failure in its database for the block queue caused block production to halt. The alert APIs were not triggered by the issue, causing a delay in the team's response time. Once the team was aware of the issue, a fix was implemented within 5 minutes. ZK-Sync reminded users that its error release is still in an alpha phase and may experience hiccups. The rollup plans to decentralize its sequencer as its long-term solution to guarantee liveness. ZK-Sync Era recently surpassed $100 million in total value locked. And lastly, Vitalik published a blog post discussing the creation of an open multi-client ZK-EVM ecosystem for Ethereum. While ZK-EVMs are currently used by ZK rollups, the long-term goal is to use ZK-EVMs to verify execution on Ethereum. Vitalik suggests 2 solutions for enabling anyone to verify Layer 1 blocks in a scalable manner. The first suggestion is to force users onto Layer 2 by reducing the gas per block target. The second suggestion is to verify Layer 1 EVM execution with a Type 1 ZK-EVM. The solution requires the addition of a ZK-EVM client as well as multiple client implementations for robustness. Vitalik believes that an open multi-client ZK-EVM ecosystem is likely to be inevitable. This has been a roundup of today's top news stories from ETH Daily. You can support this podcast by subscribing and following us on Twitter at ETH Daily. Also subscribe to our newsletter at ethdaily.substack.com. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.